All right, so this is a very quick demo of the Google Bard voice conversation extension. And so once you have it installed from the extension, you would see it whenever you are in the Google Bard website. We can move this around. It's so that, let's say, if you don't like it where it is because it's blocking something, you can move it around. And one other quick feature is the minimize. So let's say you minimize it. Once you are happy with your voice selection, language selection, you can keep it in this state. And this state is maintained, let's say, when you refresh the page. So once you select a voice or a state, A will keep track of it, right? So then we have a couple of conversation modes available here. And again, so the selection is kept track in your browser, so you don't have to reselect every time. And so the default is the two-way conversation where I can speak and then ask question using my voice. Google Bard will respond using voice, so you can listen to it. And once it's done talking, we go back into our turn and we can ask another question. So that way you can have a natural conversation, right? And let's especially if you're on a Bluetooth headphone, which is mic. So technically you can be anywhere and keep talking, right? So let's say you don't have to be near your laptop to see what happened, right? So the way two-way conversation works is that it's a turn by turn basis. So you talk, ask question, Google Bard will let's say start talking, and then eventually it will be done, and then you can ask another question. So that way you can have a good let's say discussion or brainstorm session with Google Bard, right, to figure out what the answers are. uh, and the other option is you can talk bar text response. So let's say you want to ask question using your voice, but you can read it, right, as the response, so it will not talk. It's useful, let's say if you want to use other languages, because English typically everyone can type, but let's say if you want to type in, let's say, Korean or something, you can talk in Korean. The extension will generate the let's say the Korean characters, so Google Bard will then respond in Korean characters. And the last one is you type and Bard voice response. So that's when, let's say, maybe you are in a quiet setting, like I don't know, like a coffee shop or a library where you cannot talk, maybe in a library, right? So but you are on headphones, so you can listen. So what you could do is you could type your question and you could listen to Bard voice response. And also it's useful, let's say if it's on the background, you can listen to it, right? So you don't have to read the whole thing, right? So that's our thing, and we have our language selection, right? And then for each language, so the voices are based on the browser. So let's say because we're using the browser voice ability, right? So it will depend on your machine and the browser you're using. So these are currently available. And also what happens in the browser is that typically you may not have the voices for a given language, but once you use this extension and we are, let's say, trying to use a voice, uh, let's say for instance Microsoft Edge will automatically download additional voices. So it might take I don't know, few hours to a day, but you will see a list of new voices in maybe like another day once you start using this extension, because the download time is not confirmed, so it's difficult to pretend. So let's say if I switch to Chinese, I'll see the Chinese language, and if I switch to, let's say, Japanese, I will see the Japanese language. And again, so these voices may not be available immediately because, let's say, you never used Japanese before. But once you try to use the extension with your voice, the browser, let's say Microsoft Edge in this case, will automatically download new voices. So let's say you come back tomorrow, then you should have the voices. I'm thinking of finding a better way to do this, but right now it seems I don't have a reliable way to know when the voices will be there. Okay, so all right, so then the voice rate is to change the speed, right? So let's do a quick demo, right? Can you tell me something inspirational about life?
Sure, here are 5 inspirational quotes about life. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Walt Disney. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Mark Twain. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan. Don't limit yourself.
Yeah, so if you think it's getting too long, then you can actually stop it. Yeah, because let's say sometimes the answer is too long. But technically, once you click this button, you don't have to click it again. So let me try a smaller conversation, right? Can you tell me what's the capital of United States? Keep it short.
Sure, the capital of the United States is Washington, D.C.
Okay, great. Can you tell me how far Washington D.C. is from New York City? Can you keep it short?
Sure. The shortest distance between Washington, D.C. and New York City is 204.11 miles. The driving time is approximately 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Okay, this is good. Can you tell me one interesting fact about United States? Can you keep it short?
Sure, here is one interesting fact about the United States. The United States is the only country in the world that has all 5 climate zones: tropical, dry, temperate, continental, and polar. This means that you can experience a wide variety of weather conditions in the United States, from the hot and humid summers of Florida to the snowy winters of Alaska.
That was great information. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could be of help. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
All right, so you can also see that this is useful information for us. So by default, you are asking question, or we are waiting for it, or it is responding, right? So you know it's your turn. But again, you don't have to watch it, so you can be anywhere and continue. Just wait for your turn, right? We can let's say change a language, right? Let's try Chinese, but I don't know Chinese. I know one word, so we'll try it, right? Okay, ni hao.
你好，我叫巴德，我是谷歌人工智能的一个大型语言模型。我可以用来生成文字、翻译语言、编写不同类型的创意内容，并以信息丰富的方式回答你的问题。我仍在开发中，但我已经学会了执行许多类型的任务，包括我会尽力按照你的指示，认真完成你的要求。我会用我的知识以全面和信息丰富的方式回答你的问题，即使它们是开放式的、具有挑战性的或奇怪的。我会生成不同的创意文本格式，如诗歌、代码、脚本、音乐作品、电子邮件、信件等。我会尽力满足你的所有要求。
谢谢。
不客气，我很高兴能帮到你。
All right, so I have no idea what it said, but I think it said right. But the idea is that you can use different language that will, let's say, generate the characters, right? So that way Googlebot knows that you want to get response in that native language, right? Because you don't, because obviously it's difficult to type native characters, right? So let's go back to English. Uh, what's the capital of Nepal? Keep it short.
The capital of Nepal is Kathmandu.
All right, so I just stopped it since we can end the demo, and so fairly straightforward, and hope you get the most out of it. And if you like it or have any other feedback, you can always add the in the review the support, right? Thank you.